He rented our Hellcat and sold it on Craigslist.
In today's day and age, your information is everywhere, and a lot of people love to sell it because it's valuable, because they can pretend to be you and give you a tremendous headache and cost you a lot of time and a lot of money. So you should take steps to try to prevent your identity from being stolen, and a lot of people don't want to do that because it requires more effort. Well, good news, that's where today's video sponsor, Aura, is here to help. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. Aura also monitors your emails and passwords to see if they were involved in a data breach and exposed on the dark web. Aura has almost every internet safety tool you'll ever need, all inside one app. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. If you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week trial for free with my link. You'll be shocked to learn how much of your private information Aura finds exposed over those 2 weeks. Go to aura.com/superspeeders to start your free trial, also linked below in the description, or scan the QR code. So to try them out for 2 weeks for free, visit aura.com/superspeeders or click the QR code, which I'm going to put right here. That's going to get you 2 weeks for free, and you're going to find out how much your information is already out there, and it's going to blow your mind, and you're going to thank me for sending you Aura's way. That's aura.com/superspeeders. I put a link right below in the description, and you got the QR code right here.
So, about 2 days ago, woke up, went on Craigslist, saw this car, 28,000. He listed it. He listed 3 ads, one for 32, 2 for 28. I messaged him, offered him 25, went to go look at the car, gave me a story, showed me the title, everything. It looked all good. I did a VIN check. I met up with him 2 hours after. I checked out the car, gave him cash, wrote down a receipt. He gave me the title, and it's just like that, and he's gone.
All right, so how does this happen, and who is to blame, right? Who's right, who's wrong? Is the guy who bought the car, is he entitled to the car? Depends on the state, right? Certain states, if he bought it through a dealer, would be entitled to keep the car, whether it was fraud or not. Here in a private party transaction, much different case. Now, this started out West Coast somewhere, I'm assuming somewhere in Vegas. I know this same situation happened to Houston at Royalty Exotics, and somebody else bought one of his cars for $35,000. What are we going to learn from this? How do we prevent it? How is this preventable to begin with? Here's how. First off, this is standard or likely identity theft, right? Great theme for a video having to do with our sponsor, Aura. Now, you're thinking that this guy got a rental car. If he wasn't able to get the rental car, he wouldn't have been able to commit the fraud. But he was able to get the rental car not with his real ID, because if he used his real ID, then obviously the rental company would be like, all right, Bill, here he is. Bill has your money. You have to go sue Bill. Clearly, it's a fake ID. So the fact that the rental company wasn't able to weed out the fact that they gave the car to a fraudulent renter, they were extremely lucky just to get it back to begin with. Because otherwise, that car's roaming the streets in somebody else's possession. This is why everybody needs tracking devices in their rental car. If this thief went one extra step and removed the tracking devices, then this $26,000 sale is still good, and this guy's going to be landing a car that he just won't be able to register on a fake title. That would be the biggest problem, is when the guy goes to register it, the title's not going to match. It's all garbage. I don't know if that's going to be able to make the car recoverable, or the guy's just going to panic and strip it and sell it or do something like that to try to recover his money, but bad situation all around. Who's at fault? Well, I'm actually going to, the guy who spent the $26,000, you can call him a victim. I don't. I think that it's stupid. There are ways to get a deal. And look, the fact that somebody got a deal at some point in time makes all other deals seem plausible. And everybody loves to get a deal. I love to get a deal. I've got all this stuff that I bought at the auction because it was cheap. Now, a lot of people, when you go into something, you have to use your head, right? And this guy thought he was using his head. Oh, he gave me a bill of sale. This not trustworthy guy gave me a title, so I'm good, right? I gave him $26,000 in cash. You shouldn't be giving anyone that much cash to begin with. You give them a check. You can do some sort of reversible transaction, traceable transaction. If you give that guy a bag of cash, disappears. You give him a check, it's got to go into a bank account, right? So that bank account's got to be linked to somebody. And even if you're not responsible, the bank is much more responsible in making sure that the person is who they say they are. They can initiate like a theft claim. The cops can go research who deposited the check. There is at least a chance of stopping that guy, right? If you take cash and you do this like cash or crypto thing, it's like a fart in the wind. Gone, you're never going to see it again, and it's your fault because it was too good to be true to begin with. You're buying something that's at least worth double, and I'm assuming it's worth double. I don't keep up with Hellcats, but you're buying something for a fraction of what it's actually worth. That scenario never plays true. It happens every day on Facebook Marketplace, everywhere, eBay, Craigslist. Somebody's selling something for a deal well below what it's supposed to be. Sometimes you click on the ad or you click on the listing and it's like, oh, yeah, that's a down payment and then the rest is due later, something like that. But if it's somebody willing to accept far below what something is worth, whatever the story is, you have to have your guard up 20-fold. No cash transaction, no Venmo, no non-reversible, non-traceable transactions. You could just send a random email address, a Venmo or a Cash App. Guess what? Money's gone. At a certain point in time, if you know you're buying stolen goods for cheap, that's on you. Then you take the risk that if somebody comes to recover that stolen good, you're out the money. That's what you have here. And it is partly to blame on the rental car side. It is partly to blame on the guy's side. The guy who should be blamed is the actual criminal in the middle of all of this. He's the only guy reaping any benefit out of this. The rental company got the money from the renter, assuming it wasn't a fraudulent credit card or fraudulent payment. They get the money from the renter and then whatever the security deposit was, so they're as whole as they're going to get. And then they get their TikTok video. The guy who bought it obviously should have known better, and you got to avoid stuff like this. It's people like us that want a good deal that make this even possible to begin with. If everybody does a little bit more, this doesn't happen and we stamp out the fraud. And you have to go back to the old-fashioned way of throwing a brick through somebody's window or punching them in the face and taking their keys to steal their car. This isn't really even theft. It's conversion because you gave it to them. Even though it's not the person you gave it to or the person you thought you gave it to, it's still a non-aggressive transaction. Does that make sense? It's a non-violent, it's a non-theft. It is somebody, like I gave you the keys to something, maybe under false pretenses, but I still gave you the keys to it, and that's on me. So look out for it. If something is too good to be true, I swear to God, there's good deals out there, but you have to do your homework and make sure you go the extra step. If this person is desperate enough to sell you something for a fraction of what it's worth, they will take whatever form of payment is the most secure. So if you give them a cashier's check, you go to the bank, anything like that, you have to do your homework. You have to cover your bases. Otherwise, I don't know how much money this guy has, but being out $26,000 would really piss the hell out of me. I'm sure it does to him too. And he's just standing there looking like an idiot on TikTok and nothing to show for it. So, Rob Ferretti, be careful out there, stay safe, and if you see something that's too good to be true, the old adage comes true 99% of the time, it probably is. And 99%, that's a big number, right? Like 9 out of 10 times, 9.9 out of 10 times, if you see something that you think is too good to be true, it likely is. Use your head. Don't think you're getting that 1 in a million chance of scoring the deal of the century, especially if the other things don't line up. You got to take those extra steps. All right, we're only a couple of weeks away, and there's a few spots left for our Adventure Drives trip from Washington, D.C. to Nashville. Starting in Washington, D.C., going to the Greenbrier, going down to the Biltmore, Nashville, over to Nashville. And what's in between all those places? A bunch of great driving roads. You've got Tail of the Dragon, Back of the Dragon, Blue Ridge Parkway, Cherrahola Skyway, all these great places, and add a little moonshine at night, and you're going to have a great trip. Check it out. There's a link right below in the description if you want to grab one of the last spots. It's adventuredrives.com. Link in every single video right there. Check it out.